So, to start things off here, within the first 30 seconds, KevKild is telling his first lie. He is claiming my account is banned, when in fact, it is not banned. In fact, you can actually see he edited in the word banned. Also, you can see here with this recent screenshot by checking the date at the bottom right, and you can also check yourself on Google by just googling Damontae King Twitch. It'll pop right up. And I will show you myself, so you can't even just accuse me of lying or anything. Here it is, you can see. So right off the bat, he has claims of me spreading misinfo and manipulating, but I have just proved that he is the one lying and manipulating the narrative here. The narrative Kev is attempting to create is that I am banned and I created a second account to attempt to prove my innocence or something. So Kev states that my information is incorrect. Here's what he presents. He shows my hours and my stats. He states my hours are faked and my stats are false. I added this after I had made most of the part of this video, so it may not fit in this section, but this is my global Payday 2 stats compared to everyone who's ever played the game. Now, as always, there was no fact checking anything. No one did any of that. Kev, Uncle, Carrot, anyone who have ever claimed that I've farmed my hours or faked it, whatever the word is, on both of my accounts, I have spanned over the time of 2017 to 2023. I was playing Payday 2 daily, rarely missing a stream. These totaled to over 6,700 hours played of Payday 2 just on stream. Now give or take, when I started streaming, I had anywhere between 6,000 to 8,000 when I started. Now in case anyone had forgot, I used to play on an HP ProBook, a 6556B, and stream on Mixer. Yeah. You guys remember that website, Mixer? I was streaming on there originally because I had issues getting my 2FA code on Twitch. As seen with my very first stream on that account, it states that I finally got my stream key. Cause yeah, I'm gonna have all of this planned out, right? I had submitted a ticket request months prior, and on that exact day, I had received the email and was able to access the key. Previously, it would not let me get past the first screen when I clicked it. And once again, this is just more proof, because I like to actually represent myself with evidence rather than just baseless claims and opinions. But here is my proof of my claims. Line up, right? I am streaming every day. I am showing proof of each account on both accounts. But he decided not to prove anything on his claims. I mean, it is very true. I did make the crossbreed mask very popular. But since he decided to throw insults at me, and YouTube has allowed it, I guess I will too. With your Ned Flanders sounding ass Steve Carroll wannabe, Glad you decided to at least show the software that I use as my bot for my chat for years, which is running on Steam, keep in mind, and gaining hours, which you guys like to grasp onto as much as you can and claim that's where my faking hours comes from. When all you have to do is just click games played, and it would have showed you exactly where all the time was put on the app that I had open 24/7. What a genius. Seems like you guys are doing a lot of manipulating, if you ask me, trying so hard to make your narrative seem true. He goes on a monologue talking about if someone says something I don't like, I hide it, I remove it, I delete it, or I lie about it. But he fails to provide any evidence on any of these statements whatsoever. Just throws shit at the wall and see what sticks, I suppose. Now keep in mind, I will admit, I do remove any negativity that has no reason to be there. If you're joining my stream just being stupid and negative, you just get banned. Yeah, I'm the streamer, I get to decide that. So Kev must not really have a functioning brain, but thankfully, he has what is needed on screen for us to all see. At the bottom it is a little hard to see, but it says, I'm in a hotel room, I'm on my laptop, I plan to be on my main PC soon again. As you can see, I reset them all, and to get them all to be the same as I logged in as my achievements was before. I never cheated. So the point here is that it's a completely different save file than what's on my main PC. I was staying in a hotel room since we had just been kicked out of our previous house. I'm going to give the long story short version here. The guy we thought that owned the place let us stay there for work. His wife owned the place, it was in her name, but after some years, they, you know, kind of got in a fight or whatever the case, right? We were staying there, she told us we had to leave because they're not husband and wife no more. So that video came from, you know, me being in a hotel room, and that right there is the exact stream. October 19th is the exact stream. So you guys, once again, I provide my proof. It's pretty funny. So Kev starts with, this isn't a reset from Payday 2's main menu. Payday 2 full reset keeps your Steam achievements. Kinda messed up there, didn't you? But this is fake. So first off, you guys cried about my achievements that seemed cheated. I reset my achievements, but let's make it clear. I reset my achievements. Now, to further understand why I got 700 achievements, well, clearly I'm on my laptop. That isn't, you know, I play on this, I gotten these achievements on here, it's really not that hard to understand. He further tries to push this narrative by using another example that he, once again, did no research on whatsoever. He asked the question, I see a bunch of unlocked at this different time date. He is referring to November 1st and October 25th. Now to put together the whole picture that clearly Kev didn't put together and tried to lie and manipulate it about, as seen here, November 1st, I moved into my new house, and I logged into my new PC. And wow, looky here, I got my achievements just like that on the same day. Wow, just like the first time. Now, if I had planned all this out, then I need to start working at NASA. Now, let me go ahead and explain some of the reason. It's fairly simple. I reset my achievements, my laptop has a save file, my PC has a different, more up-to-date save file. When I logged into one, it gives me it on the 25th. When I logged into the other one on the 1st, it gave me the rest that I had because that's the more up-to-date, you know, save file. Once again, not really that big of a, you know, an issue there. So to go back what Kev was saying, the kinda messed up there, didn't you? But this is fake. Glad we was able to establish what is fake here, and it's just you, Kev. Unless I was able to stir up a multi-layered cheating scandal spanning over many years and be capable of knowing the exact things I have as evidence before those things happen. Like, yeah, sure. So in Kev's exact words, he states, I think you used Sam. Well, sadly, when you're presenting your side of a debate, it's not made up of what ifs and I thinks. It's made up of facts and things that are true, not opinions. So Kev basing everything he has set up to this point on opinions and feelings. Okay? He thinks I used this certain, you know, software. His feelings are hurt, so he decided he needed to, like, make this video or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm getting to. Last thing I want to mention here, Kev says, actually you're level 100, so you didn't do a reset. What did you reset? Once again, that video clearly indicated, and its description says that I reset my achievements. Good try, though. Another thing he really like complained about or whatever is apparently he's never heard like an outro. So basically he cries for like 3 minutes straight that, you know, he's hearing me talk about like, you know, I'm trying to help people, blah, 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 whatever the case is. He literally cries about it for 3 minutes straight, so I'm not going to touch on it. Pay attention right here. I'll pause on each shot. 1, that's a light unit. 2, armor breaks. 3, get hit to the HP. Hits a bullseye. Shouts at the cop to not get shot by him. Gets shot, loses that. That's like what, 4? Right here again, gets shot 5. Normal to me. So in this clip, he questions, whoa, what was that sound? Yeah, my mouse cord at that time had issues, and if you moved it a certain way, it would just disconnect. Like, is that wrong? And then he goes to talk about how anyone else would have died there because there's 7 cops. But I take, you know, shots on the roof and avoid as much damage as I can by using bullseye, shouting at the cop, crouch at the exact time a cop's about to shoot at me so I can make him miss. You know what I mean? But, you know, I guess everyone else would have died there, I guess. Kev talks about one of the comments in a video and like how no one cared to respond to him. To me, this whole moment in the video is just about jealousy. Like, I have nothing else to say. He's just trying his best to undermine like anything I'm doing, anything I'm saying. and he really does this consistently. It's not like this is his first time. Kev says, without reasoning, that all your stuff must be positive or all your stuff must be legit. Like, this whole statement really confuses me, but that's exact words right there. He goes on to say something along the lines of, there's a lot of missing material that you just, like, put away, but fails to present any of that material for that statement. And then only goes on to the, about the comments, which again are just targeted harassment and bullying, so why would I even leave them there, you know what I'm saying? And to keep in mind, YouTube has a really neat feature that does it for you. And guess what? I use it. Wow. This part confuses me once again as well. But let's tackle it together. He claims Uncle has info indicating that I'm sus, but then only presents a paragraph in the comment section, no evidence further backing up his statements, and to also point out, hasn't Uncle publicly admitted cheating his crime spree in his own video? But yet this is the source we're using. Someone trying to scapegoat another person is just what that seems to me. He claims to have looked up crime spree, but notice how his search bar is completely empty because he actually searched up speedruns, and he's just making it seem like he searched up crime spree. Once again, creating that narrative of, here, I'm gonna make what I want to be showing to you guys, and then I'm gonna try and tell the story this way. So what he's doing here is that he's claiming that he can't find any of my crime spree videos, but then you notice that he's not even looking up crime spree. He's deleted his search bar so that you actually can't see what he's looking up. Now, to further back my claims to my evidence, when you actually look up crime spree with proof, unlike Kev faking his footage to fit his narrative, this is what you see. You get to see that there's crime spree, videos. So Kev starts on this part of the video by stating that I am banned on Speedrun website, which yes, that is true, but it is only true because Kev had Rosie banned me, just simply to put it. Rosie was a moderator and isn't anymore. Figures. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about here, as seen I submitted this run, which is 100% verified, and it took months to be that way. Now, these next runs are RNG, and they were mentioned many times during these videos. Also, as I stated, these are for YouTube. These were not submitted to the website, but now, what is Kev getting on, getting his panties all in a bunch over? YouTube entertainment runs. That's it. That is what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get faster times and post them onto YouTube. But I guess somehow that needs to be incorporated into the website's rules, even though I created the run and I'm not submitting it. With this mention, Kev tries to make the argument that even if that's what it's for, entertainment runs, it's, I'm still not legit. Well, it's odd how that works, because I'm the one who's playing it, I'm the one who's doing the moves, performing the glitches, knowing the knowledge, but according to Kev, none of that matters, just like the evidence when accusing someone, none of that matters. The next part, he just talks about the rules and such, literally has nothing to do with my runs because they weren't submitted, they were based off my own rule set, etc. So I'm not going to go over it. Kev states the speedrunning mod and how it could be tampered with. False. I actually don't show anyone how to tamper with it, nor do I even know how to tamper with it. I am not a coder, I'm not even a script writer, none of that. Yes, in my video I state how the speedrunning mod is capable of hiding mods if you know what you're doing. Considering the speedrun mod is just a mod timer, a RNG mod, and I hear nowadays it's has more profiles mod. So literally the speedrun mod is just made up of mods, but they're making the scripts all work off just the one. I mean, it's not rocket science. If anyone has any knowledge in coding, you could just simply put two mods together. It's not that hard. So let's go check the dates on the speedruns that are in question, since Kev never connects these dots, but he does present them. Let's go ahead and let's remember he's claiming the date 6/29/21. So after checking the speedruns in question, to everyone's shock, none of the dates match. Kev states it raises a lot of suspicion that he obviously did do something. At no point did I deny not doing anything. And if I did, you failed to provide the proof for, to do so. So you're literally just grasping at straws, hoping that whatever you say sticks. And honest, the only explanation I have is that I do hit Control S on all the files that I'm ever inside of. So, my mistake, I may have accidentally saved all that stuff onto a more recent date. Now, that's not me trying to justify anything. I don't even know if that's even what happened, because I really don't remember. I don't really remember going into there and changing anything, but I do know that I consistently hit Control S on pretty much all the files that I'm on. This whole section has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I made this run, I was the first to run it, therefore it's my rule set I'm following. So what are you on about? This video that I made details the issues not related to being banned, so watch the actual context behind the video. Which, that is, the moderator team at the time was very scummy by only prioritizing each other's runs, verifying consistently with the same people. It details how, the moderators at the time, even though that, they made rules, even most of them didn't know what the rules meant, who made the rules. The moderators were disagreeing with each other completely. Others were not pleased with how the rules were being made. And more petty instances like spelling errors and grammar, but then there was more serious issues like the loopholes they have in position to keep their top runners in position by not allowing anyone to down patch and not being, moving runs to the obsolete category, which, keep in mind, when something gets out of date, it gets moved to the obsolete category because that's how things are supposed to work to keep things fair. But that's not how they work in the Payday category because they have a loophole in place to keep top runners in top. These are monetized videos. That's why I made them. Not really sure what he's getting at here. I can't stand really to listen to his voice. That's why the captions are on and whatnot. But from what I am understanding, he's confused why I'm making speedrun videos while I'm a YouTuber that, is a content creator that makes money. I don't understand this whole thing here. Already stated, none of these were submitted. They were posted on my YouTube, so for him to break it down for 13 minutes is just my pleasure. Because I know I lived rent-free in his head for years, and it took him many years to make this. And considering it's an hour long, you put a lot of time into factless statements with no evidence to back up anything besides you just creating a narrative. Kev starts here with same mistakes, blaming your teammates or blaming some other form of mechanic in the game. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest here on this one. I had a viewer named Team Foxy around 2020, probably January, February. He had mentioned a KevKild stream, right? So one day I actually checked it out and I looked into it. Stream had hella viewers, chat was poppin', but I couldn't help to constantly hear Kev just crying about anything and everything, complaining on anything in the game, complaining about anything in the game. Like a housewife unhappy with her marriage and just life in general. So I decided to try it out. But more on a serious note, I've played the game for just way too long, so little things tick me off just as quick as it does everybody else. So this guy has no room to talk here. You join a stream, any stream that is, and any game he's playing, he's crying, so he has really nothing to be talking about here. Well, at least I'm not throwing homophobic slurs around like Kev does when they die or something doesn't go their way in the video game or whatever the case.
I don't know why. And it's so gay.
The rest of this is just bitching and crying. I play a flexible role. Certain builds I'll rush, others I'll play more safeguard. Nonetheless, he's just cherry-picking clips here. We all know how it goes. He was just analyzing a 6-7 hour speedruns, multiple of them, on my YouTube, but now he's gonna go after just downs. Considering there's a whole playlist of me doing all the heists in the game. But right, fit your narrative by just, going to cherry-pick the certain things that you're looking for. I understand. At this part, he's just still crying even more, so I'm probably just going to skip over this section, but what I do want to point out is that the person I'm playing with is a complete noob. having like 120 hours in total played. Doesn't even like Payday. He only plays it because he plays with me. I'm his brother basically. But he's doing far better than the others in the lobby and that are higher level than him. But not to mention he's in my build. I make a joke about super BLT, but estrogen-filled brain doesn't understand joke. Brain fog too much, so doesn't think joke is joke. I don't know what Kev is thinking, honestly. Like, did he expect me to like give him like a real answer or something? Like, I'm just gonna bullshit you. I'm the biggest jokester like imaginable. Ask my viewers. They actually hate how much of a jokester I am. So like, you're gonna think a joke is like real? Like, you need some help. Bro doesn't understand basic mechanics of the game, so is confused why I'm running around trying to move fast. If you get out of their sight lines, they can't shoot. Cops play on a reaction timer, certain cops play on a grace period timer, those, the grace periods are locked to the 225 damage, everything else is reaction timer only. So like in the grand scheme of things here, when you have more cops on the map, it takes them longer to react to you. When you have less cops on the map, they react to you faster. So if, my teammates are noobs or low level, yeah, I'm gonna use these mechanics to my advantage. Yeah, mistakes happen. It's the only way to get better at this playstyle is to do it. I mean, yeah, too bad. I know when it's worth to risk a heal most of the time, but, most of the time players will put themselves also in a bad spot that aren't just worth getting. Yeah, I know, I'm so evil and all, but, like, I know my limits to a degree. But in that same sentence, I push my limits every game, every time, no matter what. If I'm tired, gray, fully rested, fully eaten, starving, none of that is gonna change. I'm still gonna put all my fucking, all my effort into it. I'm gonna go straight into it. I understand my limits once again, but I'm going to push my limits each and every time, and that is not something you guys will ever take from me. At this point, he's stating like, oh, we're more prepared now, so blah blah blah. But like, I chose biker as like a meme as the second run, so there's no reason for me to like really just there's no reason for me to talk about this crap. So let's just get on to the next one. He claims to have older clips and has an issue with the cheats that I'm running, but doesn't say what kind of cheats, doesn't prove anything, doesn't even show the old clips of like anything. So like, he states this, but then it's just a whole nothing burger. Like, nothing comes of it. He doesn't show anything, he doesn't tell you anything, he doesn't show you something that's gonna make you be like, oh wow, like nothing's shown. He just shows a clip, that's it. Keep in mind, he shows a clip that has nothing to do with what he said. So he claims at the beginning of the video that I cheated my Steam achievements. I debunked that. He claimed I faked my hours and my stats. Well, I debunked that. He claimed I cheated my DSOD runs, hadn't shown any evidence, just talked about it. Well, I debunked that. He had questionable runs, still didn't prove anything, so therefore I'm gonna debunk that. He claims that I have cheated crime spree runs, claims to have sources, but ends up not showing anything. Just a faked picture created to seem like my crime spree runs weren't there, but guess what? They're there. Debunked. Next, he claims of cheated speedruns. During, any and all that have the RNG modifier, it is mentioned in the video, so therefore it's debunked. Now he claims that I'm banned on speedrun.com. That is true. So guess what? He gets a 1 point. He claims I'm banned on Twitch. That is completely false. I have only ever had a DMCA that you guys set up with Mustard Siege, which only banned me for 24 hours. So I have issues with my 2FA account, so I actually can't get back into that account. So for you to claim that it's banned under the assumption that a guy actually can't sign back into it, well, your whole theory or whatever you call it is just debunked. It's a lie. Arguments with folks, I'd say it's a bit of a stretch, considering that the only times that's happening is when it's a targeted harassment. People coming from your guys' discords, being like Carrot, Uncle, TSD, KevKild, whatever, they're all making up to the same people. That's the only time. It's just people coming to the stream to get a reaction, as clearly you just went ahead and clipped and put into the the video. Just keep in mind, this isn't the first cancel that's ever happened on the internet. So, debunked. He claims here right at the very end, providing wrong info and never touched on it at any point in the video. Now, considering Kev claimed painkiller on Stoic is useless when a teammate, shouted me or whatever, but let's keep in mind this teammate was associated to Kev, so he was planted in my game for a reason, obviously. But, they decide to shout me up without painkiller, so I instantly get killed again. Then, months later, Kev, pretends none of that ever happened. He's making a video on Stoic Painkiller, once again, acting like nothing happened. And once again, it's not what I was already saying. Like, I already know Stoic and Painkiller's really good. But now he's gonna pull the, oh, well, here's the video that says it's good, and I'm not gonna act like I said anything. But I'm gonna pull a KevKild here, and I'm not gonna provide the evidence for it, so, yeah. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I'm not trying to hate on anybody here. It's just I figured it was about time to go ahead and debunk all this, drama, whatever you want to call it. I'm not involved in any drama right now. I'm still not involved in any drama after this. I'm just going ahead and debunking all these baseless claims that I actually didn't know was going on until today. I was always told rumors about these videos. I never really sat down and watched them myself. But today I took, a little bit of time, I went ahead and watched it, and, well, I had to go ahead and debunk all that stuff, unfortunately, because I have the evidence for all of it. So, hopefully you guys have a great night. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comment section. If you're new here, sub. I actually do plan on making some new Payday videos, fairly soon. I have all the footage, so